Welcome back to RealVacantLand.com. This is Luke Smith. I've got another property for you. This one's 24 miles to Seattle. That's really close to major metropolitan area. Usually we've got land way out in the middle of nowhere. And so this one's getting a little closer to town. So let's take a look at this and see what we have. This is King County, Washington. I'm asking $44,999. It's 2.65 acres. So let's remember those numbers. It's just under $45,000 and just over 2.5 acres. I'm going to pull up the market in a little bit, and we'll compare the prices that I've got and the size to everybody else in the area. I want to show you that this is the cheapest for the size in the area by a good long ways. First, let's take a look at some pictures. Fellow land dealer friend of mine went into this property, took some pictures, a bunch of blackberries. Let's see if I can flip through these. So there's a road behind the property, there's a road in front of the property. I think this is in front of the property. There's a power line on both sides, on two sides of the property. I think this is the front side of the property, the power pole, and a transformer right there that I think you could add on to make it really cheap to hook up. And you see the blackberries going off. I think if you rented a brush hog, like a tractor with a brush hog on the back, you could drive through this property and clean it up pretty quick, get rid of a lot of this brush. Probably find all kinds of stuff underneath there, like, who knows, there might be old cars or old stumps. I'm sure there's old stumps and things, but just grind through it all and see what you have. So the neighbors got they don't have the brush going as thick, and so you can see what the land looks like in the area. Neighbors have horses and houses on all sides of this property. There's some flowers and more blackberries. Here's a picture from the back. Anybody can go look at these pictures if you want. There's a link in the description of this video below, so you can take you back to my website, RealVacantLand.com, and you take a look at these pictures and study them a little bit closer. Here's a picture from the back side of the property looking in. So there's a power line above and some different trees there. Some different it's a picture. There's a satellite picture of the lot and the road. So here's another. I'm going to get into some maps. So here's Renton over here. Seattle is up this way. So it's just south of Marymount, Maple Heights, Lake Desire. It's north of Maple Valley. So the 18 is just going south of here. The 169 is going near the property. Here's some lot lines of the property. It's the one in the area that's got all the bushes on it, 'cause nobody's been working on it, right? So yeah, I'd go to the local tractor rental shop and rent a tractor, or look around for somebody that does tractor work and go clean up the lot. There's a bike path right in front of the property. So there's a road, there's a bike path, and then there's a highway. And then there's a road on the back side of the property too. And then across that road and down a little bit, it's a river. So there's a river right over here. There's a public access at the corner to get to the river. So you could walk off the back side of your property. You could probably carry your kayak over there and go kayaking in the river if you wanted to. So here, there's different cartoons of the size of the property. So my friend that was taking pictures of this, there's a deer that ran off the property, ran across the street right in front of his car. So there's a deer that is coming off the property. Here's the street in the back of the property. So there's a bunch of trees and bush over here. That's the property. There's a power line running down the side of it. And then there's a bunch of houses on the other side of the street. These houses are next to the river. So the other side of these houses is the river. So they're building on the river. The bigger lots are away from the river, like some of the other neighbors have been building on having horses. So here's a shot looking into the trees and in the woods, some big trees back in there, just lots of blackberries. It's hard to get anybody to go back into property and take a look at, 'cause it's just blackberries all over the place. Here's a telephone box, telecommunications, maybe you can get some DSL internet out of there, I'm not sure. There's again, these big trees, nice big solid trees in the back side of this property. I'm not exactly sure what kind of trees those are. Some kind of ash, I think. Just a bunch of shots, lots and lots of pictures of blackberries, thick undergrowth going into this property. Nice piece of land. There's vines climbing up the trees, nice and thick back in there. Nobody's been working on it for a long time. It's vacant, classic vacant piece of property. Here's some more shots of the street. Okay, so here's a picture of the river. So this is the river just down the street. If you walk over to the end of the street, you get to this river, and so here's some rocks on the edge and a nice, good flowing water through there. So I think you could launch a kayak or canoe or go wading and maybe fishing, see what kind of fish you could find in there. You could put your waders on, go fly fish it, or spinning, spin casting, do some little Mr. Twisters or something, probably catch some trout. It looks like it's flowing pretty good. It's bubbling through there. Looks pretty clear. I mean, you can see rocks in the bottom of it and stuff. Yeah, you can see a bunch of the rocks right through the river, so it looks like a nice clean one. There's some flowers next to the river, some more pictures of the street behind it and the neighboring lots. Here's a lot line, somebody mowing the lot line of this and just letting the blackberries go wild on this particular property. So there's some neighboring houses, and well, I think we've gone in a circle. Okay, so let's pull up some maps. I got some maps here. And so we've got interactive map on ruralvacantland.com. If you go to the link below, it'll take you back to the website and you can play with this map. So there's not much topography to show you on this one, but if we zoom out, you can see the river doing a bend around here. And this property is in between the road and the river, and there's a whole bunch of houses in between the property and the river. There's a bunch of trees along here. There's a house right next door on this side. The house and garage and outbuildings and stuff. On the other side, there's another house. It looks like maybe a prefab home or double wide, I'm not exactly sure. And they've been cutting the hay in their fields here. They've got horse round pen going on. The next house over has a couple outbuildings. There's some different garages, shade, snow, rain structures for their vehicles, and looks like some lower lands over here in the back of their property. I was following the topography of these lowlands here, and they go this way. So the water catchment here goes this way up, and eventually this way back, hooks into the stream up north a ways. Like over in here, it hooks into the stream. It seems like it would make more sense to flow the other way because the stream's so close, but it didn't. It went the other way because there's a little bit more topography here where this property is. And then, yeah, there's the nice stream there in the background. So if we zoom out, I'll show you its relation to Seattle. From here to Seattle, Renton is over here, and Seattle is up this way. So this is the greater Seattle area, Bainbridge Island, Seattle, and then the property's back in here. And so we've got all kinds of industry, businesses, and people going on down to Tacoma down here. There's this Tacoma. Tacoma here. And then, so that's where the property is located. I got a buy it now button. I think it just asks for $500. If you want to go grab this property, put $500 down, and then we'll take it to a title shop and do the rest of the paperwork there. $500 just to hold the property. It's deposit to hold the property, not to make payments on it. It's just to hold the property. And then there's GPS coordinates. If we click on that, we'll get maps, and we can start looking at maps to different places. I pulled up a couple maps. The property, before we jump into those maps, the taxes on the property are a little over $800 a year, and zoning is RA5. It's residential agriculture, I think it is. So here's directions to some shops and clinics and schools and basics in the area. But I pulled up to Seattle. So the property to Seattle is says 31 minutes this route. It's right now it's 12:30, and so Google is saying it's smooth sailing either way, no traffic, it's lunchtime. And so 40 minutes this way, 28 miles or 23 miles, basically 24 miles. 24 miles if you go over to the I-5, and 28 miles if you go the back route through Bellevue and over the bridge and in. I mean, you could go take the 90 through Mercer. There's multiple routes you could take. But basically half an hour to downtown Seattle from this property. So you could commute from here if you wanted to work in Seattle. I found at Albertsons. I'm sure there's other grocery stores that are closer. That's just one I searched for. And so Albertsons came up. It's like less than 10 miles to Albertsons, so a local grocery store. A couple different routes to take. I bet you could find other ones when you shop around. I found Whole Foods. If you guys like Whole Foods, sometimes I like Whole Foods, sometimes I don't. Pros and cons, right? But, I'm used to having land out in the middle of nowhere, so it's like hours to get to a quality grocery store. This one is 30 minutes up to this Whole Foods here. There's others. That's just the one that came up that Google brought up. Okay, so my favorite part of this, let's go look at price. That's where this really shines through, right? So remember, we got the size, just over 2.5 acres and just under 45 grand for the property. So I pulled up, we're in Redfin. Redfin covers the area. Redfin doesn't cover all areas, but it covers this area. So I thought it'd be fun to change it up and use Redfin. So the property is right in here. So here's the street, here's the buyer's street, and yeah, so here's the neighbors. So the property's right here. And if we zoom out, I've got Redfin set up for, I think it's for sale. I've got it sorted by price, low to high. And let's see, I don't know if I've got land or homes, or let's see. I just want to do land, just narrow it down to just land. And then I want to get back to my list. I don't know how to get back to my list. Oh, there's my list. Okay, so just land and any size. We're doing any size. Ours is a little over 2.5 acres, 2.6 something. So the cheapest thing that comes up in the area, let's see where this is. This lake, I know this property because I've done a bunch of research in the area. Let me see where it's, come on. 37, yeah, 37 right here. Okay, so it's right here on this lake, and what they've done is they made a whole bunch of pie-shaped properties on this lake, and the ad for this one says like bring your wetland specialist. Like good luck building on this one. Basically unbuildable. 37 grand, cheapest property in the area. $65,000, second cheapest property in the area. Let's see if I remember what this one was. We're already over prices, the 45 grand that I'm asking, or 44,999. But okay, so they're asking 65 grand. I think this is like Crazy Hill. This isn't the one I was thinking. Looks like they've got some deer too. It's like access up a power line road. I think this one might be like access challenged. Bring your creativity, because this 1,937 acres, that's probably 1.937 acres, yeah, is ready for your design. The lot is located between Maple Valley and Renton, so this is the same area. Sellers have no report or survey, power in the street, buyer to verify all details. I think this one's like access challenged, but it's already more expensive than the one that I've got. So let's keep looking. Let's see what the next one is. $70,000. I think this is on that same lake. Might be a different lake. Rare lakefront lot with easy access to Maple Valley High. Lot slopes gently from the street to the lake with a gully part way down, cutting across the lot. Surveyed in 2018 with the corners marked. Lot wider at street and tapers towards the lake. Yeah, I don't remember seeing this one, but 70 grand for a lot on the lake sounds pretty cool. I wonder what the setbacks are and the actual usability of it is. But it's already more expensive than mine. 70 grand. Mine's like 3 times the size and 2/3 the price, but it's on a lake. I wonder if it's really buildable. So doing research on a lot of the properties in this area, the cheaper ones are rarely buildable. $72,000. See what this is. Oh yeah, I think this is big steep one. Yeah, this is a really steep hill. $75,000. I think this is a weird little corner lot. If I remember this property right, so you're gonna have setbacks on both streets, and with all the setbacks, it's gonna make it hard to fit a house in there. I mean, you could probably do it, but great corner lot, price below market value and assessed value to allow you equity to install a septic. Oh, yep, trying to figure out how to get septic in a little lot. 354 days. So basically, what I'm trying to show you is a lot of these lots that are the cheaper ones on the cheaper side are really steep and hard to make happen. This one might be a steep one with a view of the lake. So you'd have to get a slope engineer. You have to get an engineer in there to make sure that slope's stable enough to support a house. You got to pay a bunch for that. And you have the mystery of if it's going to work or not. So you probably got to buy the property before you go figure out if that's going to work or not. Needs septic design. Utilities in the street. Seller may do owner financing for up to 3 years. That's pretty nice. So take a look. Take a look at the other ones on the market. I think I know the ones on the market on Zillow better. Looking at the ones on Zillow, if you go look at the area on Zillow, there's some of the other cheaper ones like for sale by owner. You got to put your septic in the neighbor's property and you get easements for that. You get some really steep ones, and you just get some like no access ones. So you get some really weird ones on the lower price, which, you know, that's how the markets line up. And mine is in there. I think mine's buildable, makes sense, and it's bigger than most of them. It's flat, and the utilities are right there, and you can go run with it from everything that I know about it. So $44,999 for an easy one to go run with. I think the competition is a lot harder to work with and smaller. And take a look at it. Go take a look at all of them. But I think I got the cheapest one in the area from all the studying that I've been doing. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is Luke Smith, ruralvacantland.com. Please feel free to ask questions. Check out that link below to go to the website and learn some more about it. Go look at all the other properties in the area. I think you'll come around to mine. And take a look at the other ones we got for sale on ruralvacantland.com too. Thank you. See you in the next video.